Mongolia's Altai Mountains. Bleak, barren, and home to one of the world's rarest animals, the snow leopard. These big cats are so elusive and hard to find. Much of their lives are a mystery. A team of conservationists and filmmakers are determined to uncover their secrets. Battling the odds and the elements, they reveal how snow leopards live, hunt, and raise their cubs in one of the toughest places on Earth. Join us as we meet Mongolia's mightiest and most mysterious predator, the snow leopard. The Altai Mountains are a vast range spanning western Mongolia. Stretching over 2,000 kilometers, some are over 4,000 meters high. It's a foreboding landscape and home to one of the world's rarest animals. Elusive, solitary, and majestic. The snow leopard. These mysterious big cats are so rare and hard to reach, they've proved incredibly difficult to study and film. Until now. Snow leopards are found in mountain regions across Central and East Asia, but they are critically endangered. Their total population is thought to be between just 4,000 and 7,000. Many snow leopard sightings come from Mongolia's Altai Mountains. And it's from here a team from the World Wildlife Fund Mongolia hopes to discover more about these remarkable animals. September 2013, and a film crew from NHK Japan has arrived in Hovada, a remote region at the foot of the Altai Mountains. A family of nomads has made a temporary home on the plains. They live in tents, called yurts, and move around during the year to find grazing for their goats and sheep. The crew begins the journey to team up with WWF Mongolia. They're going to visit a place where there have been several snow leopard sightings. One of Mongolia's most remote mountains, Mount Jargaland. It's nearly 4,000 meters tall, and the WWF team has set up a camp over halfway up. The journey is a slow one. Finally, they arrive to a warm welcome from some old friends.
Hello. 。
Hello.
啊，
Hello.
三百了，我去了。
Hello.
哎，对吗？
WWF Mongolia has been studying snow leopards for over 15 years, and this is an especially exciting time. Working with nomads and former hunters, they are tracking one special snow leopard. Dr. Munho Togo Tohu, a biologist and expert on the Altai Mountains, leads the WWF team, and everyone knows difficult days lie ahead. The film crew and WWF Mongolia first met in 2012. It was immediately obvious how difficult their task was. Snow leopards aren't just rare, they are solitary and incredibly well camouflaged. Their research suggests one leopard's range can cover 6 kilometers square. Finding one is like looking for a needle in a haystack. But eventually, their hard work and patience was rewarded. Almost invisible against the rocks and grass was a snow leopard. They had further sightings and were able to study these extraordinary animals in 2012. But there is much more they want to find out. Dr. Munho Togo Tohu and the team are now focused on one snow leopard in particular, an adult female they have named Tengaroo. In May 2013, they managed to fit Tengaroo with a GPS collar so they can track her movements. They also discovered she was pregnant. Hopefully they'll be able to see how she raises her cubs too. Early morning, and GPS information arrives from Tengaroo's collar. Dr. Munho Togo Tohu studies it closely. He traces Tengaroo's movements and identifies her current position. Now the race is on to reach her. A GPS data receiver is checked constantly. As they get closer, they split into smaller groups. Crossing Mount Jargalin is slow going, and it can take several hours to get to Tengaroo's last known position. Surprisingly, she's often vanished by the time they arrive. The faster they move, the better their chances. But every step has to be taken with great care. Dr. Munho Togo Tohu arrives at the place pinpointed by the GPS, a small cave in the cliffs. It seems Tengaroo was sheltering here among the rocks, but she's gone. All eyes scour the surroundings. But sadly, she's nowhere to be seen. As they look around, they discover more signs that she was here. Dark urine stains on the rocks have been left to scent mark her territory. Two of the team suddenly spot movement. It's a herd of ibex. They're nimble-footed wild goats, and the snow leopard's main prey. One large male stands out from the herd. They watch as the ibex slowly disappear among the mountains. Disappointingly, there's no sign of Tengaroo that day, or for several days after. But 1 week later, they receive encouraging information. Tengaroo has restricted her movements to a small area around 500 meters wide. This suggests she's hunting. Hopefully this time they'll reach her before she leaves. The GPS shows Tengaroo is in a valley 4 kilometers from their camp. As they arrive, they see signs that a hunt's taken place. Blood-stained rocks. And a short way away is the proof. The remains of a dead male ibex. Much of its carcass has been picked clean, and puncture wounds from a snow leopard's fangs are clearly visible. A fixed camera is set up. Snow leopards often take up to 3 days to eat large prey, and there's still meat on the bone. Hopefully, Tengaroo will return. It's soon clear that others benefit from Tengaroo's hard work, like a flock of cinereous vultures. And after dark, the camera reveals a snow leopard is on the prowl. But it's smaller than a cinereous vulture, only around 70 centimeters big. Could this be a fleeting glimpse of Tengaroo's cub? Snow leopards hunt other prey besides ibex, like chukar partridges, a type of pheasant. and the Siberian marmot, a member of the squirrel family. But ibex are the snow leopard's main prey, so they follow them around the mountains. And frustratingly, Tengaroo has vanished again. It's been 3 weeks since they arrived, and their luck could be changing. They have Tengaroo's current position, and one of the nomads says it's good news. Excitement grows as he explains why. Tengaroo is in part of the mountain they can reach by car, and that means they can get there faster. Even so, it's still slow going. All they can do is hope that this time is third time lucky. Gradually, the route gets rockier and more inaccessible as they head higher into the mountains. But they manage to reach the top of a high ridge, close to Tengaroo's last known location. It's a good vantage point to scour the mountainside. Now, the waiting game begins. The GPS data said Tengaroo was on the other side of this valley. Suddenly, there's movement. What's causing the ibex to panic slowly slinks into view. It's a snow leopard, and it's so well camouflaged, it almost disappears against the rocks and scrub. But as the camera closes in, they can see a tracking collar around its neck. Finally, after 3 weeks of searching, they found Tengaroo. And there's more movement. It's a cub, and there's another surprise in store. The cubs are only around 3 months old, but already bold enough to enjoy a game of chase. They seem to have mastered the rocky terrain already. These aren't the first snow leopard cubs they've seen. In August 2012, they discovered another snow leopard family on Mount Jargaland. High up in a den among the cliffs were a mother and 3 cubs. Like all female snow leopards, the mother was raising her cubs alone. The cubs were only around 2 months old and completely reliant on their mother. They had only recently left their den for the first time and were just starting to explore the outside world. It was a great opportunity to study a female snow leopard and her young. But unfortunately, when the family moved away from the den, they lost track of them. Thanks to Tengaru's collar, hopefully that won't happen again. At 3 months old, Tengaru's cubs are rapidly growing in size and confidence. One takes what looks like a dangerous scramble down the mountainside. Watching closely, it's clear it chooses each step carefully. It moves quickly and assuredly. Good practice for the day it will live alone and have to chase prey. The other cub looks like it's toying with a pebble. It's actually playing cat and mouse. It's one way it learns how to hunt in the mountains. Watching the rock roll away helps it judge how things move. In a cub's paw, a leaf is a teaching aid too. It clamps it in its jaws, just like it would small prey. However, carrying it isn't as simple as it looks. But it doesn't give up. When it fixes its eyes on a target, it won't stop, even if it is just a leaf. This kind of persistence is vital if it's to survive among these punishing mountains. The cubs play happily, but don't venture far from Tengaru's side. Although they're growing fast, they still rely on their mother. One cub seems to have had enough for the day and disappears into the den. Tengaru follows closely. The second cub isn't far behind. Mount Jargaland is littered with small caves, which snow leopards can use as dens. Each one is a potential hiding place. They decide to take a closer look at one cave Tengaru has recently used as a den. It's a short drop down from a cliff edge, and at first sight, it's hard to tell it's a den at all. But just a short way inside is the proof. Several piles of snow leopard droppings. The den is about 2 meters deep, big enough for the family to shelter in and to keep the cubs safe. One of their greatest threats is the golden eagle. Wings outstretched, it's 2 meters wide. Would be easy prey. Thanks to the WWF study, we have a detailed picture of how snow leopards raise their young. A mother leaves her cubs at a den to hunt ibex. When she makes a kill, she fetches her cubs and takes them to feed. The family then follow the ibex, find another den, and do it again. But the WWF study also reveals Tengaru's territory gradually gets larger. This is it in July. By August, it's 3 times bigger. By September, 4 times. The demands of feeding growing cubs means they need to travel further to find more prey. Even the doctor is surprised that Tengaru takes her cubs on such great distances through the mountains, but their survival depends on it. Most snow leopards are found among the mountains of Central and East Asia, mainly in China and Mongolia. And with a population no greater than 7,000, they are critically endangered. Studies suggest about 20% of the world's snow leopards live in western Mongolia. WWF Mongolia focuses on leopards in the Altai Mountains. "40 fixed cameras placed around Mount Jargaland have been vital to their work. Their aim was to photograph as many snow leopards as possible. Cameras were positioned near dens and paths leopards were known to use. Each camera was carefully fixed in place and left. The result was over 500 stunning photographs. Each leopard has uniquely patterned fur, which means an accurate head count was possible. Thanks to the photographs, they discovered around 20 snow leopards live within a 30-kilometer square area around Mount Jargaland. And there is one above all they hope to see. A herd of ibex sparks interest. It's obvious the ibex sense danger. And as they scan the mountainside, what's frightening the ibex comes into focus. Tengaroo and her cubs are crouched on a nearby cliff. And they have the ibex in sight. The herd slowly moves away, but Tengaroo stays put. A steep cliff is a risky place to hunt, and she can't leave her cubs alone here to chase prey. Food will have to wait. A short time later, the family continues their journey. Cubs learn to navigate the mountains and how to track prey by following their mother. But it will be between 18 months and 2 years before they are fully independent. They still have a lot to learn before they can live alone. Months pass, and winter arrives with a bite. Snow sweeps across the plains. And the land is transformed. Mount Jargaland and the Altai Mountains are coated of frosty white. The ibex continue their endless search for food, whatever the weather. Back at base camp, the WWF team is still hard at work. All eyes are on the computer as the GPS pinpoints Tengaroo's location. Tengaroo and cubs have continued to roam the mountains throughout the winter, sheltering among the rocks to escape the worst of the weather. Now comes the challenge of finding them again. To increase their chances, they split into smaller groups. Some go on horse, others on foot. Each group makes their way to a different viewpoint. Dr. Munho Togo Tohu's group finally arrive at their designated lookout. And the doctor spots something. It needed his trained eye to see it. Almost invisible against the snow and rocks is Tengaroo. Now wearing her thick winter coat, she looks much bigger. She walks quickly and confidently across the snow-covered rocks. Her thick tail swings slowly and helps her keep her balance. And her large padded paws are designed to walk on icy surfaces. fur on the soles of her feet help her find purchase on slippery rocks. Tengaroo crosses the icy mountain as easily as she does in the summer. The team is thrilled. Not only have they found Tengaroo, it's a great opportunity to study her up close. However, there's no sign of her cubs. Hopefully 12 more fixed cameras placed around Tengaroo's territory will reveal where they are. Two of the team check recent footage filmed on one of the cameras. Tengaroo walks into shot. And there's something else in the frame too. It's a cub, and it seems to want a closer look at the camera. Everyone's glad to see it. Meanwhile, the cameras keep rolling in time for their closest encounter with Tengaroo yet. She's just 250 meters away, twice as close as they've been able to get before. Her gentle calls may be meant for her cubs. Once again, there is no sign of them. She makes a move, revealing a bulging stomach that suggests she's been hunting. The graceful big cat slowly disappears from sight again. A family of nomads and their livestock has settled up in the Altai Mountains. They usually spend summer down on the open plains, but in winter go higher up the mountains to escape the blizzards. This brings the nomads into closer contact with snow leopards. But more problematically, it brings their livestock into closer contact with them too. Crows pick over the remains of a recent snow leopard kill, one of the nomads' goats. Attacks like this aren't uncommon. Back in 2012, they filmed the aftermath of another livestock kill. A mother and cubs fed hungrily. Goats and sheep are vital prey for the big cats, and they are just as vital to the nomads. But despite some livestock losses, nomads don't hunt the leopards. It's thought to do so would bring bad luck. There's a practical reason too. Snow leopards keep ibex numbers down, the livestock's main competition for grazing. By cohabiting with snow leopards, Altai's nomads help protect them. In return, snow leopards help safeguard vital grazing. piercing howls shatter the silence. Winter is the snow leopard's mating season. Males and females cry out to attract attention. These normally solitary big cats start to behave differently. Footage from the fixed cameras reveals how. They keep to themselves, but that changes during the mating season. Males and females without cubs widen their territory to find a mate. But for females like kangaroo that already have young, it can be a testing time of year, as the team witness. Kangaroo is on the move and anxiously looking behind her. Something is clearly troubling her. An adult male has entered her territory. Kangaroo isn't looking for a mate, but defiantly moves towards him, eyes locked on his every move. Intruders are also unwanted competition for prey. Without a fuss, the male takes the hint and walks away. Another look shows the male carefully avoided making eye contact with kangaroo. Female snow leopards with young cubs sometimes viciously attack would-be suitors. So the male avoided eye contact to try and prove that he wasn't a threat. Danger over, kangaroo marks her territory again. There's no sign of any more intruders, but she climbs up high to make sure. During the mating season, she can't afford to be too careful. They still haven't seen kangaroo's cubs for a while. What they do discover are some intriguing footprints left in the snow. There are two clear sets of prints. An adult snow leopard left the wider spaced ones. The ones closer together are her cubs. Adult snow leopards place their back foot where their front foot stood to help them walk steadily on uneven surfaces. That means 4 feet only leaves 2 prints, unlike a less experienced cub, which leaves more. But the trail of prints also raises a troubling question. They find no other snow leopard footprints nearby. If they are kangaroos, where is her other cub? A few days later, a fixed camera catches kangaroo on the move. And close behind is one of her cubs. It has clearly grown, but it's the only cub they see. Sadly, there is no sign of its playmate that they saw in the summer. Some cubs are killed while learning how to survive in the mountains. Others fall prey to predators. Fortunately, the cub they see looks fit, strong, and is hopefully well on its way to joining the mountain elite. The time with kangaroo draws to a close, but WWF Mongolia and NHK will continue their study of these remarkable animals. The secret world of the snow leopard has only just begun to be revealed.